Good day. The following video depicts Expert Field Medical Badge Warrior Task Number 3, Move Under Direct Fire. This task was taught in conjunction with Expert Infantryman Badge and Expert Soldier Badge testing. The video consists of the task grader providing instructions to a group of candidates for the first time during training standardization, followed by a demonstration while talking through performance steps. Please note that uniforms depicted during standardization training differ from those required during testing by the EFMB Test Control Office. The video was recorded in April 2023, utilizing the June 2022 testing standards.
Welcome to Class T2 Move Under Direct Fire. I'm going to give you a quick lane orientation for test day. These pickets that you see right here are your start points. You have two lanes. You have this left lane which has 3 cover and concealment positions, and you have a right lane that has 3 cover and concealment positions. Down there you'll see an E-type silhouette between those 2 trees. Does everybody see that? That is your target on test day. Alright? To be successful in this lane, the only thing you need to do is demonstrate the 3 movement techniques. 3 to 5 second rush, high crawl, and low crawl. Alright? Did anybody do EIB last year? Do not think about this lane, it is completely different. Okay? The way that we do those 3 movement techniques are depicted by 3 types and rates of fire. You got sustained, rapid, and cycling. Alright? I'm going to talk through each movement technique and then I will give you a full demonstration once I'm done with that. Alright, so bear with me. The first rate of fire is sustained. When you hear that, you will use the rush technique. The rush technique is the fastest way to move from one position to another. Used when you must cross an open area and time is critical. The way this reads out, it starts you in the prone, so bear with me. Alright, you'll raise your head and select your next position. Lower your head, draw your arms into your body, pull your firing side leg forward and raise your body. Get up quickly, run for 3 to 5 seconds to your next position and plant both feet. Assume a prone position by using point, post, sprawl. I'm going to break this down. Point, acquire the target and orient yourself and the weapon to the target. Post, post a non-firing hand on the ground as you do a rear or forward lunge. Sprawl, kick your legs rearward and out so that your body lays naturally on the ground in a good firing position and reacquire the target. Please watch my demonstration. On test day, it'll sound something like this. Candidate, at this time, you're being engaged by a sustained rate of fire. He's going to move real slow to show y'all. He tucks his M4 in his armpit to help keep positive control of his weapon so he's not flagging anybody. Puts his non-firing hand in the push-up position, planted on the ground, and he brings that firing side leg up first. Alright? Please be in this position when you're getting up and be very deliberate with this, so we know that you know it correctly. He's going to get up. You don't need to do 4 or 5 bounds. He's going to go halfway. He's going to point at his target. He's going to post his non-firing hand. He's going to sprawl. Alright, then he's going to do that again. There's no greater prompt right here. And you are not firing right here. Alright? So go ahead, get back up. Go all the way. Alright, that's what it'll look like. Alright, once you have completed that task successfully, the next thing you're here is you're being engaged at a rapid rate of fire. Does anybody want to take a guess of what movement technique you do? High crawl. There we go, high crawl. The high crawl, come back here, demonstrator. The high crawl lets you move faster than the low crawl. It still gives you a low silhouette. Use when there is good cover and concealment, but enemy fire prevents you from getting up. How you do this, you keep your body off the ground. Rest your weight on your forearms and lower legs. Cradle your weapon in your arms and keep the muzzle of the weapon off the ground. Keep your knees well behind your buttocks so it stays low. Move forward alternately, advancing your right elbow, left knee, and left elbow, right knee. Please watch my demonstration. Alright, there's a trick to this to make sure that you're on your elbows. Palm skyward. And you have it cradled, just like this. Go ahead. You're being engaged at a rapid rate of fire. He has his palm skyward, so he's naturally on his forearms and his elbow. And it's on him to move. Once we see that you can demonstrate this correctly, we're going to say candidate stop. And then we're going to move you on to the next task, which is moving with a cyclic rate of fire. And you're going to use the low crawl. The low crawl gives you the low silhouette. It is used across places where covering and or concealment are very low and enemy fire observation prevents you from getting up. How you do this, keep your body as flat as possible to the ground. Grasp the sling of the weapon at the upper sling swivel with your firing hand. Let the handguard rest on your forearm. I'm going to repeat that, your forearm, not your shoulder. A lot of people are putting it on their shoulder. That's breaking your low silhouette, okay? And keep the muzzle of the weapon off the ground. To move forward, you're going to push both arms forward while pulling your firing side leg forward. Pull on the ground with both arms while pushing with your firing side leg. Repeat until you reach your next position. Please watch my demonstration. All right, you're being engaged at a cyclic rate of fire. He's going to grab this front swivel mount right here. He's going to lay that M4 on his forearm. He's going to extend both his arms so naturally his M4 will lay right across his forearm. His helmet is on the ground. He turns his head sideways. A lot of people are looking at the ground. Don't do that. Your head has to be on the ground. He's going to bring that firing side leg forward. At the same time, he's going to pull as he pushes. All right, for your non-firing leg, just pretend you don't have it. It's not there. Don't move it, okay? Does everybody see this? All right, do I have any questions at this time about the 3 movement techniques? All right, so, oh yes, thank you. So, this is not a performance measure, but this will help you on test day. You need to look where you are going. You're going to take your non-firing hand, grab the base plate part of your helmet, pull your head to the side without lifting your head off the ground. That way you can see where you're going. Does everybody see that? All right, cool. Demonstrator, go to the start point. All right. Before I go through this full demonstration, there's 2 non-verbalized performance measures that you guys must do. When you guys are moved out to the picket, you have to identify your lane. You have to identify your 3 cover concealments and pick the best route to those covers and concealments. Right? So if I'm coming here with 3 to 5 seconds rush, and I get down behind cover and I move out to the right side because I'm a right-handed shooter and it makes more sense, that's fine. Return fire, put your weapon on safe, or you start your next movement, because I'm not going to high crawl all the way out here and come back to go to the lane to cover and concealment. I'm going to go to the fastest route to my next cover and concealment. So if you want to shimmy your way over, once that grader gives you the verbal cue, if you're being engaged by a rapid rate of fire, you can move over and move out. If you move out right here, your enemy has a direct line of you high crawling. There's no cover and concealment. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, scoot back and get ready to watch my full demonstration. Like Sergeant McNulty said in the brief, on test day, you're going to go up to that picket that has the wait here sign. He's going to call you up. You're going to go to the table. You're going to give him all your information. At the time, one of the graders is going to come up and tell you to turn around. And then you're going to hear a spiel that sounds something like this. I'm Staff Sergeant Davis. I will be your grader for individual testing station P2. Move under direct fire. I'll be evaluating during this phase of testing. Do you have any questions before you begin? If you say yes, I will repeat that same thing. If you say no, we'll move to your task conditions and standards. Your task is to move under direct fire. Your condition. You are a member of a team conducting movement to contact and under fire from an enemy position that is 200 meters away from your position. Your standard is to correctly perform all steps in sequence within 5 minutes. Do you have any questions? If you say yes, I'll repeat it again. If you say no, I'll move you to this picket and we will begin your lane. All right, once we are at the picket, I'm going to tell him to confirm all zeros. 0. All right, make sure you just give me a verbal zeros or confirmed or whatever. All right, at that point, the way he's going to start his patrol, he uses his non-firing hand and he's going to look back to his team, give the hand and arm signal for follow me. If he does that, he's going to move out. He's going to be hit with contact. Bang, bang. At this point, your time begins. Does everybody understand that? It's not when you move out, it's when you take contact. He will return fire, put his weapon on safe, and immediately go to the prone. At this time, I'm going to tell him his first performance measure. You're being engaged at a sustained rate of fire. He's going to do it properly getting up. He's going to bound up. The point post crawl. There's no verbal cue here. He's going to do it again. He's going to get behind cover. And then he's going to return fire. All right, the graders are not going to tell you to return fire. You need to make sure you do that when you get to cover. All right, so the only 2 spots you're firing are the 2 C's. When you take contact, or if you catch yourself behind cover. So this cover, and that cover, you will return fire. All right, so once he does that, and his weapon's back on safe, I'm going to tell him you're being engaged at a rapid rate of fire. You guys can move down with him if you want. Notice he has his palms up and he's alternating. And also notice he is keeping his body off the ground, not just dragging his flick and resting all his weight on it. All right, once I notice that he's doing it correctly, I'm going to say candidate stop. At this time, you're being engaged at a cyclic rate of fire. Once he has demonstrated he knows this performance measure correctly, I'm going to stop him. I'm going to tell him to double time back to the start point and receive his go. All right, so stay where you are. So for this lane, the the new thing this year. Once you demonstrate the task correctly, I can move you to the next one. So that gives you a chance. If you do something wrong, you have multiple times to get it right. You have 100 meters to get it right, or you have 5 minutes, whichever comes first. Does that make sense? So I'll give you a little demonstration. Let's say he's doing his low crawl wrong. He's using both his legs to push. What you're going to hear from the graders is the same performance measure. Candidate stop. You are still being engaged at a cyclic rate of fire. That is his cue, like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Let me think about how I have to do this performance measure. So he sits there for a second, he thinks about it, and then he's like, oh, that's right, it's just one leg. Let me do it. Cool, he fixed it. He's still got time on the clock. He's still got another like 50 meters to go, or 25 meters. All right, but I see he's doing it correctly. I'm going to say, all right, candidate, stop. You're a go at this time. Double time back to the start point. You get up, okay? All right, the two things that will get you a no-go on the spot. Once you're given that performance measure and your weapon is on fire and you move, you're a no-go. We're going to stop you right there. Go to retrain. If you indeed, you are kicked out of E3B. Does everybody understand? All right, so remember, the only times you're firing is when you take contact. You should not manipulate that selector switch anymore unless you get behind cover. Does that make sense to everybody? Do you have any questions at this time? What's up, man?